Hey guys, it's me again, Joey Bisaya reader. Welcome back to another video, and for today I'm going to show you some of my young adult science fiction fantasy books recommendations. Just a disclaimer, the books I'm going to show you in this video doesn't mean that these are my favorite books. These books will definitely entertain you because these books will target definitely a wide range of readers out there. There's actually some of the books that some people might say they don't enjoy, but that doesn't mean that some other people or most of the people will not enjoy them, because again, it all boils down to preferences. The Partials trilogy, the second book is Fragments and the third book is Ruins. This is the first book, Partials, by Dan Wells, and this is a post-apocalyptic story. We are following our main character. She's a nurse practitioner or a nurse trainee in this world where there's only a sanctuary because most of the humans on Earth were eliminated by the so-called virus. So what the virus is doing is that every time a human, if you are not immune to the virus, you'll get sick. Eventually, a few hours after you get the virus, you'll die. Basically, the main character and other set of characters are just looking for a cure. The youngest human being on Earth is actually 16 years old because there's no such as a newborn, because every time a child is born, they just die and succumb to the virus. So even though the government is implementing that as early as 14 years old, 12 years old, females needs to get pregnant to make sure increase the breeding. We are following our main character. She's a badass character. She's a medical. If you are a medical professional, you need to check this one out because there's a lot of medical references, like those things that are happening in the laboratories, things that are, looking for the cure, looking for proper medicine, how this virus infects the human body. We also have these so-called partials, because partials are basically half humans, and humans do believe that the virus originated or came from the partials. Humans tried to get rid of them because the war was over and America already won the war, and partials are just weapons for America to win it. And then when they decided to eradicate all the partials, get rid of them, the partials did some revolution, and that's where the virus started to scatter. So humans think that the partials are the main reason why the virus was, most of the people are killed. And they also believe that partials do have the cure for the said disease. That's why our main characters had to travel out of the sanctuary and look for our partials and look for answers and ask help. Maybe because at the end of the day, they're thinking that at the end of the day, the partials who are the one who killed them are their only hope. I'll recommend this. This is actually an ongoing series. This is the Starsight and Skyward. First book is Skyward, second book is Starsight. I've read this last month. I've read this last year, I think. This is from Brandon Sanderson. This is a young adult science fiction, and we follow our main character in space again. They are set in this so-called world where humans are trying to hide underground because they're being attacked by this race of aliens. So for years and years, they've been trying to hide underground to protect themselves and to survive, because time by time, the Krells, the name of the alien race, are attacking the said planet. It's not Earth. They were just stranded in this planet and just was forced to really survive day after day after day. And the only hope for humans is to just, get rid of Krells and make sure that they don't penetrate the underground levels. So they have these so-called pilots. So pilots are deemed heroes in this story. And our main character is Spensa. She is a daughter of a one so-called very famous pilot, and then she also wants to be like her father. His father was deemed as a traitor or as a coward, and her dreams were shattered. Her dreams of becoming a pilot like her father was tarnished by the so-called reputation by the people that tagged his father as a coward, because his father actually killed several pilots, co-pilots, during the last battle, but I forget the name of the battle. So yeah, we are following a girl, our main character, as she tries to reach for her dreams, at the same time trying to overcome the stigma and the labels of the society because of what her father did. This is a great series so far. It's very science fiction because it's set in space. There's an alien race, there's battleships again, and it's action packed. There may be some issues with the pacing because the first half of these books, both books, do start really slow, but eventually, as if you already know Brandon Sanderson, things are really, great things are waiting for the readers at the end of the book. So just, you know read the first half, enjoy as much as you can, because you will be wow. This is Gartnick's Sacral. This is the first book of the series. I haven't read the rest of the series yet. I've heard that the second book is Abhorsen. I still don't have a physical copy for that, so I only read Sacral, the first book. And for me, I did not like this or love this, or I did not hate this also. It was just okay. The main reason why I did not really love this book is that because for me the tropes were really outdated. The writing style was okay. It was simple. It was not something that I'm really going to look forward to read more and more. There's several tropes that we've seen so far, because this was published way back in early 2000 or late 1990s. So that's the main reason why the tropes or the plots were kind of outdated. So that may affect my enjoyment with this one. But if you're looking for a classic, I do prefer calling this a classic fantasy. Classic young adult fantasy. You need to read this one. We are following Sacral as the main character. She is the daughter of Abhorsen, one of the most powerful wizard or magician in the world. It's kind of dark, but if you're looking for a fantasy with a good set of characters and great magic system, kind of unique magic system, and also with a bunch of adventures, because the adventure on this one was really entertaining, I highly recommend you reading this one. Follow the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton. The main reason why I do really love this book is because of the world. The world building made by the author on this book was phenomenal, and also the magic system was kind of unique and kind of fresh. It's something that we haven't read or haven't seen before. It's kind of very memorable because also of the set of characters. We are following our main character as she is, trying to survive. We call her, what do you call it? I forgot her name. So this actually is we are following our main character as she's in an adventure. She's trying to look for a group of people where she thinks can help her hone or control her powers, because she do believe that she does have these kinds of abilities and magical powers and she don't know how to use them. If you're looking for a good magic system, a really great world, because again, you'll be really invested in the world. Also, fantasy, young adult fantasy with an adventure element to it, I highly suggest this one. Rebus and Wells variant and feedback duology, and this is the first book variant. This is the second book of feedback. This one was phenomenal. This one was a really big, I don't know, mistake by the author. Variant is a great book. We are following there's actually a bunch of perspectives here. We're following different kinds of characters as they are trapped, or they were being sent to this called academy, where they are not allowed to go out. So basically they act as a student slash prisoner. This one is kind of creepy because there's a lot of cameras and they always feel as someone is always watching them, so they do feel that they are in this some kind of experiment. And basically these set of characters are trying to help each other and trying to make a plan or a heist to get out and escape this so-called academy, because nobody wants to be stuck in that kind of place. And this one, I don't want to talk about this one, but I really hate this one. Probably one of the most or disappointing read I've have in my entire life. This one was a really great. The cliffhanger, the ending of this, I read this in one day. It's really short. It's really phenomenal. But this one, I was expecting a lot from this one because of how this one ended. So yeah, if you're looking for a school system science fiction where there's a bunch of kids in a school, where there's cameras, there's spies, there's heists, these kinds of people are trying to escape the so-called prison or academy, then I highly suggest you need to pick this one up. One of my most recent reads, and this is young adult fantasy, Crown of Feathers by Nikki Pau Preto. This is surprisingly a really good read. It's kind of borderline adult because it's really thick. And it's almost 500 pages, kind of just like a couple pages before it reaches 500 pages. In this world, we are following our two main characters. They are actually sister, Val and Veronica. And they are animages. Animages are people who do have the abilities to control animals. And at the same time, they are both of them are also shadow mages. They are these so-called people who do have the abilities to control the mind, or can read the mind, or influence the mind of other people. So they're really deemed very dangerous. In the world set on by the author in this story is that we do have a backstory where there is a so-called uprising by humans against Phoenix Riders. So Phoenix Riders are basically a bunch of peoples who are animages because they can control Phoenix. They are Phoenix Riders because they are, as you can see in the book or the cover, they can ride the Phoenix, and they can control the Phoenix, and they are basically more powerful. There's been a war between animages and humans, and then humans basically won the war and tried to track down all of the animages and kill them because they don't want to let the war happen again, or they don't want the animages people to have revenge. So Val and Veronica, our two main characters, are trying to hide from the authority as they're trying to look for the group of animages people and also Phoenix Riders, because it's their only hope. They don't know how to use their power, they don't have phoenixes, and they cannot live together with humans because they are not humans, they are animages. So this is a high fantasy, and this is very political at the same time. Great set of characters. There's also an adventure twist to it, or adventure element to it. So if you're into a military political fantasy, and also with an adventure fantasy with bunch of great set of characters, and also there's some romance here which I did not expect I will love, because I do really hate romance in books. You need to pick this one up. It's well written, the writing style was superb. Highly recommend this one. Totally unexpected. The Sci trilogy by Neil Schusterman, which is second book is Thunderhead, and the third book is going to be The Toll. It's already done. It's finished. There's only 3 books in the series. It's a trilogy. And if you want to binge read a series, a young adult science fiction series, I highly recommend you need to put this on your number 1 list. Following our main character named Citra and Rowan, they don't know each other at the start of the story, but they knew each other because they were trained by Sight Faraday to be an apprentice and to become a Sight. Basically, Sight is a really, really important figure in the society set on this world by the author, because in this world, humans already defeated death. Humans cannot die. No cancers, no accidents. Humans cannot basically don't die anymore. If you die from cancer, you get revived after a day or two from a revival center, and then you're back again alive. So yeah, you cannot die anymore. And in line with that, if humans can't die, there's always overpopulation in the society. Sites, their main obligations or responsibilities are actually trying to kill people, trying to control the population. Depends on the site, how do they do it? As long as they have some quotas, for example, in this region, you are over with 91 lives, you need to kill 91 people this month. It's highly political. There's a lot of political dramas here. The dynamics of the characters were really great. The writing style was straight to the point, but was really effective. It's not really hard to read. The entire world building, the world set by the author here is one of its kind. If you're looking for a very fast pace, full of twist and plot twist, read. I highly recommend you guys reading this one. The Laini Taylor's Strange Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares duology. This first book is Strange Dreamer. It's a very famous book. Second book is The Muse of Nightmare. This is a very polarizing series. When I talk about polarizing, it's either you love it or you hate it. There's nothing in between. In my case, I am on the love side. I really, really love this book. The main reason why people don't like or hate this series is because of the writing style. They do feel that it's kind of affecting the pace because the writing style kind of slows or drags the story, and it's not that easy to read. I do understand because the writing style of the author, or the prose of Laini Taylor, is really, really flowery. It's like an overkill of creativity where on some authors, they can get the message across by using only 1 or 2 lines. In case of Laini Taylor, what she's doing is the 1 or 2 lines from other author, she's going to use it and try to deliver or try to send the message across using 1 or 2 paragraphs. So it's really kind of hard for others to read it or to grasp it, but I was actually hooked and used to it after reading first 100 pages, and I just caught myself. I was really enjoying the book. It's just actually really magical. In this story, we are following our main character named Laszlo Strange. He is an orphan. He is working as a librarian, and he is really obsessed in this so-called world or city, the lost city of Weep. He's been dreaming about the city, and nobody knows where the city is. Nobody knows if the city do exist or not, or does exist or not. And yeah, he is still really positive that this city, or one day he will be able to locate and visit the city. If there's one word that I'm going to explain or describe these books, it's actually magical. There's characters here that are half god, half humans. Basically, they are humans, and then one of their parents is a god. So basically, if you're half god, half human, you will have this blue colored skin that explains about the cover. And if you're a blue colored skin, you may have contained some random abilities that are related to your parents, which is a god. And these abilities, they can be elemental abilities, magic powers, etc. So it's really magical. And I don't want to spoil you guys. That's all you need to know. If you're looking for a very creative, flowery writing style, I highly suggest you need to pick this one up. If you're looking for a very magical, very out of this world, entertaining read with a balanced set of characters, balanced love story and plot, balanced dynamics when it comes to plot driven and character driven story, I highly suggest you need to pick this one up. Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Music of Nightmares was even better than Strange the Dreamer. And this one, second book, definitely gave justice to the series and ended the duology with a bang. So yeah, that's it guys. Yeah, it's me again, Joel, your Bisaya reader, and stay safe, have a great day. Bye-bye. Happy reading.